It was an icy day on the island, sorta, and the engines were working hard. They didn't mind the cold weather because they have toasted fireboxes to keep them warm. That evening, the fat controller came to the sheds. They said eagerly, and Sir Topham drove away. Teased Thomas. Percy whistled nervously. Sniffed James. Teased Thomas, said James. James knew Jack Frost wasn't scary, but poor Percy wasn't sure. Percy shivered. Meanwhile, James puffed along in his route. He thought. Percy made his last delivery. The station master was very pleased to see him. "Oh, Percy!" he cried. "We need twice as much coal over at the last of this freeze," said Percy. So Percy started plankton in the siding, and with the only lantern for his company, said Percy, chuckled his driver. Then the driver and fireman went home to bed. Later that night, the icy wind howled, and as it soon started to snow, Percy's face was so cold an icicle hung from his nose. Shivered Percy. But he didn't sound like Percy. It was too cold, and he could hardly see any other sound. At last, James is on his way back to his sheds. In the fog, he saw shadows and strangely scary shapes. He whispered nervously. "Much of Percy, icily," cried James, and he raced away as fast as his wheels could carry. Until he didn't stop until he got into the sheds. The next morning, Elizabeth brought with plenty of coal. "Chuffed Elizabeth," did Percy. The fire lighter started, and Percy's fire soon his ice mask melted away. Tooted Percy happily, and soon he was as warm as a toast. When Percy arrived at the sheds, James was bragging to the other engines. Teased Percy, and all the engines laughed, including James Tuff. But Percy was the loudest whistle of all.